Partner with W2 today. It's a win-win.
Fantastic. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today as we look at e-commerce website performance, how e-commerce website performance affects online sales. Just to introduce myself, my name's Sean Jones. I'm the UK Head of Sales and Marketing here at W2 Solution. Today, presenting for us, we have Henry Allen and Majid Mohammed. So Henry's Marketing Executive here at W2, and Majid is one of our Customer Success Executives. As we go through this, we're going to briefly introduce ourselves, as obviously the video has just done a little bit as well. But we're going to then look into website stability, how speed SEO affects our online sales as well, some of the takeaways from that. And just at the end there, Majid's also going to explore specifically how we increase our website stability, speed, and SEO here at W2 Solution. So with that in mind, Henry, I'll let you take it away.
Thanks very much, Sean. Hopefully everyone can hear me properly, and welcome to anyone who joined us whilst the video was playing. As Sean mentioned, my name is Henry Allen. I'm the Marketing Executive here at W2 Solution UK. So we're here to talk about website performance, what impact it has on your website, and how you can improve on your existing infrastructure. I'll dive straight in. First of all, if you've not met us before, who are W2 Solution? We're a Japanese e-commerce platform provider. We moved to the UK last year. However, we're not new in that sense. We've been around for 16 years, and we have now brought our award-winning technology and customer service mindset to the UK. We're proud to say that our existing clients have enjoyed an average of 354% increase in sales growth, having migrated to our platform. We view ourselves as the best option to bring success to mid to large size brands. Our job isn't done once clients' websites are built. In fact, it's after this point that we begin working on customer success, looking to grow sales and revenue. We do this for a variety of functions that help develop lasting customer relationships that increase repeat customers and so lifetime value. If you have any questions or would like to have a conversation after this, please do not hesitate to reach out. We'll have our contact details at the end. You can also reach us through our website. So, website stability. This is a website's ability to handle high volumes of traffic and remain live throughout the year. If you were to look at the graph in the top, this shows peaks in seasonality for website traffic for the average e-commerce brand in a regular year. It's worth noting that an e-commerce brand can experience peaks of 300% on days such as Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So it's important to understand what your website capabilities are, and to do so, it's worth being aware of the following metrics. First of all, website visitors. How many visitors can you expect on any given day, and how might these days affect? How might peak days affect this number? Also, uptime. Monitor and be aware of the availability of your website to your customers throughout the year. Ask yourself if there's any downtime and how that might affect revenue. Website load tolerance. Are you aware of how many visitors it takes to slow down your website? Lastly, geographic performance. This refers to your website speed and availability from different locations. This is especially important if you're a global brand. If we were to look at the equation in the bottom right, you can begin to predict how peaks in website traffic can influence your daily revenue. Assuming that conversion rate and average order value remain constant, an increase in, say, 300% in website visitors can directly relate to a 300% increase in revenue. However, if your website can't handle the traffic and crashes during these peak days, the opportunity cost can be huge. Unfortunately, many websites crash during these peak times, and this leads to large losses in revenue. So I'd recommend taking the time to understand how many visitors your website can handle and adjust accordingly. So, website speed, and why does it matter? Research shows that customers will wait no more than 3 seconds for a web page to load before abandoning a website. Google's own research shows that 53% of mobile sites are abandoned altogether. And if they take longer than 3 seconds to load, you're likely to not see the customer again. Just a 0.1 second improvement in page response time increases website conversion rates by 8.4%. Whereas a 0.1 second delay in response time decreases conversion rates by 7.1%. So slow websites lose orders to fast websites, and poor website performance reflects poorly on your company. You'll find that unhappy customers will go looking for the same products or services elsewhere, potentially with your competitors. So what actions can you take to improve your chances of success? Firstly, you can optimize your website images. Find a balance between small file size and visual quality. Also, enable browser caching. This gets browsers to save and reuse your site files whenever they return. Minify your HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. This reduces code file sizes and can be viewed in a similar way to reducing the image size, as mentioned. On top of that, reducing redirects. If you're using plugins, choose them carefully. They often have a heavy impact on your website speed. Moving on to SEO now. So what impact does SEO have, and how can you benefit from it? Research shows that 44% of online shoppers begin their search with a search engine. The first result on Google shows an average click-through rate of 31.7%. Anyone who's run a PPC campaign will understand the clout of this number. On average, moving up one spot in Google search ranking can increase your click-through rate by 30.8%. This is good news. Then how can you improve your website ranking besides the kind of traditional content marketing options? Well, Google in 2010 announced that website speed is a ranking factor. This means that if you embrace the actions that I mentioned in the previous slide, your website is likely to rank higher instantly. Further to that, faster websites are easier to crawl, have better user experience, and a lower bounce rate. So why do e-commerce sellers neglect SEO? Well, it's due to the delay in return. It can take up to 6 months to see results from SEO efforts, and even then, it could be longer. Whereas a digital ad can generate sales now. The good news is the actions I've mentioned will give you a head start, and then you can begin committing part of your budget to SEO going forward. Right. So what can you take away from my section of the webinar? Firstly, website speed matters. A 1 second delay can have a big impact on user experience, and so your revenue. Page loading time is impacted by image size, code file size, the number of redirects, and plugins. You work really hard to gain customers, so keeping them should be a priority of yours. Do so by focusing on user experience, website speed, and stability throughout the year. Also, invest in SEO. It's tempting to put off spending money in this area, but due to the delay, obviously. But enjoy instant returns from improving your website performance, as I mentioned, and thereafter commit budget to SEO going forward. Also, guys, remember, happier customers lead to higher sales. Of course, it's a little bit more complex than that, but by combining a visually appealing website with the points I've mentioned, you'll be on a path to sales growth. And that's it for my section. Thanks to everyone. I'll now hand over to Majid, our customer success executive, who's going to run you through a little bit of our product.
Wonderful. Thank you for that, Henry. Hi everyone. So my name is Majid, and I'm the customer success executive here at W2. And what I want to do today is show you our platform and how our platform is used in order to actually enhance performance on a website. So I'll go through a few of our little functions, and I'll give a few tips and advices in how this can be done. So what we'll be looking at today is the EC section and the CMS. So that's e-commerce and content management section here. So we'll start on the EC section here. Let me scroll down. And what we're looking at is sort of the design management section here. So we'll go through the page design, look at the SEO settings, content management settings, and we'll also look at the website as well, the demo website that we have associated with our platform at the moment. So I'll go through the page design thing first, and we can have a look at how these actually work on our system here. Okay, let's scroll down here. There we go. So as you can see here, we've got the different sort of pages, the listings here, and sort of each individual page and how that works. So if I click on here, so this is just the overall layout and the edit section here. So as you can see, you have your area for content, your headings, and all the things that come along with that side. And then we also have the ability of course, edit the content as well. So what I do now, I'll move on to sort of the SEO settings here. And this will be the sort of overall SEO settings that we have here on our platform. So the global settings can be used when you want to sort of unify the content of the meta tags on each page of the site. So essentially what that does mean is that you can have the content box, and that will then have the information there, and then you can link that to the tag, and that will be embedded on the top of the page. So what that will allow in terms of performance is that it means that if you have a search engine that you use, if you have a keyword, that will then process through and take you to that exact page, rather than going through various different avenues to get to that page. Of course, what that means is that you're saving time for the consumers. More likely than not, those individuals who are searching for a specific thing are more likely to buy that thing, especially if it's quicker for them. And that will also mean that they are able to then process through the website without the hassle of going through any other sections that they don't really need to see. So that's important. We've had customers in the past who have actually used these things, and they are very beneficial. Like Henry mentioned, the 354% growth that we can see for sales. And I think one of these things are one of the most important ones that we do provide. What I also want to show you guys is our demo website as well. So this is our demo website. So as you can see, it's an e-commerce platform here. This one is for an actual one for fashion design. So you can see your images here, and you've got all your sort of banners and posters and all the things that come along with that. I believe Henry did touch upon this as well. Something which is important is also enabling browser cache. So that can be done for an e-commerce website, but it can also be done on a normal website. And I believe that it's very important, because what it does is that if you enable your browser cache, the elements on the web page, for example, for the HTML, documents, JavaScript, the files, the images, everything that you do have, they actually essentially just get stored into sort of the hard drive. And then what that means is that the customer then when they come back to that website, rather than it sending another HTTP sort of request to the server, it will just automatically upload. Of course, that means that there's quicker upload for the pages. The pages obviously then have the content, and that means, of course, that the conversion rates for your brand itself, for these products, will obviously be quicker. This is more of a general thing, like I say, it doesn't necessarily for e-commerce, but I believe depending on what kind of website you have, it is very important. So I thought I should mention that as well. But going back to our actual platform here as well, I will scroll down into the content management, the content image management section here. Henry also did touch upon this, and we spoke about sort of image sizes and files. And as you can imagine, having huge files means that there's a lot of delay and load time. But at the same time, having images means that your products are visual. And there's a statistic that actually shows that 80% of customers will not purchase a product unless they've seen 3 images of that product, especially on an e-commerce website. For e-commerce especially, as you can imagine, it is very important, because you don't actually see the product physically until you purchased it. So for that does mean that it's important. And for this reason, we've created a little section called our special feature image upload section here. So for example, if you do have this image, for example, we've seen it on our website, the demo website, this can be stored, but it won't be on the actual website server, it will be on our main server. And that essentially means that you can chop and change, for example, if you have seasonal variations. So this can be changed into for example, a summer one, or it can be changed into a winter one, for example, whatever sort of variation you do have. It will also save that image in the servers that we provide. However, it doesn't actually show upon the website. So that of course means that you're saving a lot of space. And then when the customers do come to your web page, it is obviously much more smoother, the transactions smoother, and they can also see the images clearly, because we don't want to lose actual quality. Losing quality may associate with bad website, and it can also associate with customers leaving and going to other competitors, which is, of course, that's not something that we want. I feel like overall this is just a short demo on the website that I've showed you guys, shown everyone here, and I believe that we can also go through other sections if required. If you guys do have any questions or any other options that you do want to go through, feel free to give us a question, or you can also contact myself, Sean or Henry. But what I will do now, I'll hand back over to Sean and Henry, and we'll sort of conclude.
Fantastic, thank you, Majid, and thank you everyone for joining us this morning. I think we'll wrap it up a little bit early as we go in. So thank you very much, Henry and Majid, for your points. Hopefully you've been able to get some quick and long-term wins out of this, because I think there are some very clear short-term and long-term ways that we can affect sales from a website performance perspective. Making sure that you build a website that loads quickly, that is based off small imagery, that is up to date and has a great user experience. Long-term investing in your SEO, investing in your PPC. We know that the number one issue within e-commerce is retaining customers. And the single best way that you can do that is through a great user experience and a great relationship with your company. So thank you all again for joining. If you do have any questions or you'd like to get in touch, whether you'd like to see the platform on a bit of a wider scale, please do get in touch either via our website or call that number that's displaying on the screen there. We will have another webinar in 2 weeks on omnichannel, the effect of omnichannel on the sales process, and essentially how omnichannel will increase. The more channels you use, the more increase your sales on average. So look forward to presenting that. Do get in touch if you have any questions, but otherwise, thank you very much for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.